into serverless to observerless. We're going to start live code demonstration. We're going to build, deploy, and break a serverless application. This is a kind of a breadth, not a depth demonstration. Basically, we play a little rock, paper, scissors game. So we're going to be in 3 parts. We're going to deploy it, and we're going to run it, and then we are going to burn it to the ground. So, as kind of before, I'm Yandell, principal consultant with Mechanical Rock from Perth. We're at DevOps and Cloud Consultancy. And within kind of Mechanical Rock, I specialize in kind of cloud-native application development. So some of the services we'll be AWS using tonight. So up the top there is our inception pipeline. That version of GitHub at the moment is a little bit old. Got some tweaks to go out. It's our kind of CI/CD pipeline that we use pretty much for all of our projects. Through this, because it's a live demo, there'll be some points you can ask questions. So shout out, but please be gentle. Cycle. All right, it's demo time. What we'll do, first thing is we'll kick off the pipelines. What this is going to do, it's going to deploy a code pipeline, code build, and all kind of infrastructure. So everything we do is infrastructure as code, so we'll deploy all that out for us. This is using the Serverless framework, so anyone used Serverless framework before? Hands up. Couple people? Awesome. A lot of turning around that way. I think that's going to zoom, so I do apologise for that. Pick it up. So this will take about a minute or 2 to run. So we've got any questions yet? Anyone wants to see? Silence? Awesome. If you do have questions, chuck your hand up. When I did this for the Serverless Meetup in Perth, it was definitely a live coding exercise. We spent the first 15 minutes tech supporting this. We have a generic Mechrock Sandbox account. I have my own kind of personal Mechrock Sandbox account. And I thought I was being clever and, hey, I've got all my resources ready to go, except I didn't. And so you kind of jump between the accounts, deleting things. S3 buckets, if you delete and recreate with the same account, it's instantaneous. You go across account, it's actually about a 30-minute wait. So not only do I have like the long readings in all my code and trying to recreate buckets and jump backwards and forwards, and yeah, it was a little bit embarrassing. So thankfully that wasn't recorded. So I'll jump to the console. Where my mouse is. All of this is deploying to the zip region. So it's that's interesting. That should be there. So there's 2. Right. Setting up automation. Awesome. As you can see, it's live.
Can you zoom on screen?
Yep, you can see the browser, no worries. Although, I don't know if I can't actually be quite so visible. This bites me like every single time. So I've had this deployed before. Because code commit is obviously a source of data, it's a source of truth. So you don't want to have that delete and delete the rest of your stack. Set to retain, they retained it, and then trying to recreate it. It's name clash. So, anybody have any questions? Got a lot of none at all. Awesome. You guys are very, very quiet. So, does anyone run production serverless Workloads? What do you run in production?
Some security tech.
Security tech?
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Like antivirus, malware, detection engines.
Okay. Is that kind of responding to it like?
There are REST-based API services into Lambdas to get passed in certain data that needs to be scanned. It's a security services.
There we go. And our permissions have gone. We can recreate. Does anyone use code pipeline or code build? CI. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Pain in the ass. Yeah. Yes.
It's great when it works.
It is great when it works. Does anyone use code commit?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, so do the same trick as last time. Like everything version 2. So, 2. All right, let's try this. Let's try this again. So, does any questions? No. Okay. You guys are just waiting to watch me like crash and burn completely. Not very good.
What's the resources taking a long time to deliver?
That's actually a really good question, because typically when I use KMS, that seems to be the one that takes a while.
Yeah.
Before it looked like it was an IAM role, which would be unusual in my experience.
So I definitely noticed it with cloud front, like putting out distributions to,
Yeah.
but obviously just
I started using CloudFront about 18 months ago, and all the docs were saying it would take 20, 25 minutes to run. In my experience, like 40, 45 minutes to run, then you make a mistake, and you wait 45 minutes, and then, yeah. Had many wins to our kind of local AWS rep.
I think it's better than Akamai.
So, I haven't used it for about 4 or 5 years, so I'll, Well, that time that actually worked. So there we go. That's the set. Across to jump across to code pipeline. So the inception pipeline that we've got, is based around the idea that code pipeline actually knows when a change has happened to it. And because everything is actually available through CloudFormation, we can actually do is we can seed a pipeline that just has code commit repo, or we have flavors with GitHub. And basically code pipeline itself from a CloudFormation YAML file, builds itself, and then as you make changes to code commit repo, it kind of references back onto itself. It actually updates itself and then reruns through the changes. So this is the administration pipeline is the bit where it's going, okay, yeah, I'll look after myself, and then hey, we've now got additional actions and stages and the likes, and it's will eventually, when it catches up, actually build and deploy our serverless application. I'm just going to hammer refresh to see if it hurries up for me. Roughly back to the links. So from here, it's pretty much a kind of serverless, so standard kind of serverless application, API gateway, a Lambda function. I'm not sure actually what else is in there. If you guys want to see any of this, like the bits and pieces that make this up, just shout it out at me. Gosh, you guys got all quiet, awesome. Sorry?
Can we zoom that window as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone said that okay? Sorry? The code's not in GitHub. I think when I did this 5 months ago, I said, yes, I'll put it up in GitHub and didn't get there, but I'll make a big effort to do it. So if you're really interested, look me up on LinkedIn, connect, and just keep poking me weekly until I get up there. So. From the MechRock website as well, there's a whole bunch of blog posts around the Inception pipeline and things you can do, like cross-account deployment. The most recent one's around using CloudTrail in like a global context across all your accounts and all the setup as well. So it touches a little bit upon this and a little bit on how to do that. How are we going? Tick, tick. All right. Bring this up. So this is just a typical kind of, I would assume typical code build. You guys use code build? No one's using code build? Awesome.
What is it?
Sorry?
What is it?
What's code build?
Yeah.
It builds code. So, hey.
How to do that?
So, magic. Like all of technology, right? It's just magic under the hood. So. It's pretty much Docker images, right? So it's a specialized Docker image. You give it a YAML file called a build spec, gives you instructions. So if anything you want to do is a shell commands, scripts, chuck it in the particular formatted build spec file, run through this. We'll actually call out, recently AWS has kind of standardized the runtimes, and they've got basically like a God mode Docker image, right? And then you say, I want these particular runtime versions of Java, Python, whatever you want, and it's going to make things a lot easier to manage now. This is the output for building our serverless file, and it's taking forever. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's my catch cry of the night. It's awesome. Everything's awesome. Right. While it's doing that, let's go take a browse at some code. So this is the seed. So this is kind of the core of an Inception pipeline. So I just fold everything up and kind of step through the really cool, interesting bits. Oh. So it's kind of pretty, well, for me it's kind of standard. So if you guys think otherwise, if you guys got opinions, shout them out at me. So to find a code commit repo, we put a bucket. So code pipeline needs an S3 bucket, it's kind of like a scratch disk, dump files into. Have a couple of IAM roles, one for code pipeline to assume to run through, and CloudFormation. So when code pipeline runs a CloudFormation action, running a script, it assumes a role. So you can kind of give some nice fine-grained permissions to those things as well, if you want. Yeah, code pipeline, sweet, fold that. You can see, reference our buckets, give it a name. This is the magic part, I think. this is where when code pipeline says, hey, I've made a change, I'll go and restart myself. And that's how we can kind of do this thing where you can keep adding changes to this file, to your code pipeline, add different actions in, all that sort of stuff, and it just kind of keeps working, continuous deployment type stuff. Source. What sort of stage and source action? Do you guys know what the difference between stage and an action is? No? Cool. So actions are kind of the doing parts of your code pipeline. So they can be call a Lambda, run code build, run a CloudFormation script natively. And stages are kind of like a logical grouping of your actions. So code pipeline, you need to have a source stage, or source action as by default. So that's at the top. And then you need to actually do something after that's kind of the bare minimum. Which kind of gives us these two here. And then there's our deploy action. So you kind of notice that these names here match what you see in the browser. And then beyond that, we also have our code build role. This is the role that gets assumed by code build when it goes to run. And then a project definition. So jump back. Succeeded, awesome. We're done. Alrighty. So that was part one. That was supposed to be the fast part as well. So, all right, next bit. So, actually, before I do that, I'll quickly show you the serverless framework. Let's just roll this up so I can see. So I kind of won't go through this much because we're probably chewing through time pretty quickly. In a nutshell, we kind of have the definition for the Lambda function here, using bucket and table. Some plugins for serverless framework. So in this case, I'm using TypeScript, so it'll transpile that to JavaScript at runtime. I have no idea why I had that in there. Probably all those testing stuff many years ago. Kind of optimize it so it runs a bit faster. And some tracing, which we'll come to soon. As well as that, serverless framework will take this, turn that into CloudFormation as well, and run through it. So you can put anything you can have in CloudFormation, you can also have in here as well. So if you want to keep a single location for your resources and your lambs and everything else, you can chuck them in here. Equally, these could also come out as a separate file and run as a separate action, so you could deploy that first and then deploy your lambs if you wanted to. Alrighty. So in the Lambda definition, we say we want to respond to HTTP GET methods. Under the hood, serverless framework will go and provision a whole API gateway resource, I suppose, thingy, and deploy that for us. So when I come into here, it's here. So we'll grab that ID. And if I throw it here. So we're going to crowdsource this now. So who votes rock? So playing rock, paper, scissors. Hands up for rock. Yeah. Paper? Scissors? Yeah. 33, it's always, we'll go with rock, because I don't have to type anything else in. Let's run this. Damn it. Lambda 1. So, yeah. So, let's give it a couple more tries. See if we can beat it. Apparently not. I forgot. So once the Lambda goes through and plays the game, it generates a HTML file and then sends you a redirect to that. So here we go. I won. Awesome. Cool. Yes. All right. So now we've got that. Let's try and kill it. All right. Who votes to kill it? Got 2 people. Yes. You guys are the most placid crowd, hey? Fuck it, we're going to kill it. Oh, excuse me. Kill it. There we go. That's what I want to hear. So here's a kill script I prepared earlier. So here, we'll go and chuck in our URL. Let's just word wrap that so we can see it. So that's all it is, so we'll save that. Anyone used Siege before? Yay, one, cool. I have no idea. So that's what I was hoping someone could tell me. I was trying to find something that would just basically hammer a URL until it sort of, until it died. And that's the first thing I found. It seems to work, so that's cool. So I'm going to apologize here. I don't know how to zoom a terminal in. It's Control Shift. No, it doesn't work. So this is Ubuntu 18.4 if anyone knows. It might be a font actually. It's good. There we go. Let's see how long this takes to kill it. Oh, here we go. Zoom in. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, kind of, it's like from my machine, so.
Are you using Siege for DDoS?
Yeah,
What does Siege say? What does it say? You know, it tells you this.
I've only ever used it in the context of this, and I think when I was searching around, I just wanted something that will go and hit a URL as quick as possible, and so I think it's got a lot more. Yay, there we go, awesome. It probably would if it was a proper DDoS type, like I know AWS has a lot of their rules and stuff like that. This is just hitting my URL pretty quickly, and I've kind of got some stuff in here to show it dying, so it's not actually going to hammer it that hard, I don't think. So. All right, cool. Sorry, more software than networking, so. All right, cool. So, anyone want to have a guess as to why that started dying on us and giving us 504s and 502 errors? Could be, yeah. Yeah. Do you think? Yeah. So you think API gateway is throttling the requests coming through? Cool. Anyone else? You know, the crazy ideas, theories? Too many lambdas? There's only one. Sorry? No? All right. So next question. If that was you, this is your production system, where would you go next to try and figure it out? Oh, who said that? Who said X-Ray? X-Ray, yeah. So yes, as it turns out, I had some forethought here and I instrumented my Lambda with X-Ray. So hands up anyone who's used X-Ray. A few people? All right, let's go check out the console. Let's reuse this one here. This is X-Ray. X-Ray, here we go. So X-Ray is our kind of tracing. Yep, cool. Turn right. And so one of the things that it does is it lets you kind of peer in under the hood of AWS and see where things are connected and what's happening to them. So in this case here, we can see requests are coming into Lambda. I've got some colors here, we'll come to in a sec. And I always mean to look at this and research why you get two things for Lambdas. If anyone who uses X-Ray can actually answer me. No, awesome.
One's the container and one's the code.
The function invocation. Cool. Always kind of suspected that, so cool. Got S3 bucket, and we've got a DynamoDB table. So the S3 bucket was for serving up the results with the win-loss draw thing. DynamoDB, and it's got some purple. Interesting. So we click on these nodes in here. We can start to see 92% of our requests coming through are passing. We're getting some errors. We're hitting some throttling stuff here. It's kind of interesting. Jump up. We can check on this. And we can kind of dive into it and see, okay, you know, why is DynamoDB here? Ask the developer. And what those errors are. And you can kind of start drilling down into what's happening in this case. It's kind of a bit obvious, I suppose, DynamoDB, throttling. We can kind of see that we've got some provision throughput limits here. And so to kind of demonstrate this, on the definition for the DynamoDB table, we set the read-write unit to 1, so it's pretty easy to kind of hit that lambda pretty hard and see this. So, and that's pretty much the end of the live coding bit. So we're going to wrap up now. Any questions? Sorry? Yeah, so that could be one way to do it, right? Like, it allows you to kind of ask the question, so why is it dying? Is it because we're getting an unexpected spike in traffic? Because you might want to have those limits to decrease cost or constrain your costs. It could be something rogue happening, like a process maybe that you want to run every hour, something running every minute because someone mistyped something, and all those sort of reasons. So yeah, obviously, if you just want to fix it, it could be to pay per request or just bump the RC and WC read-write units up. Sorry? That's a good question. Don't know. Enough. So just keep hammering it, hit the refresh button until it died. So.
So did you just make a comment that there's only one lambda?
Yes.
So it's fixing up, spin up new lambdas every time you keep the...
Sorry. There's one Lambda function. So one Lambda function deployed, so there you'll get the concurrency. So from memory, it's left as whatever the default is. So I think it's 1,000 concurrent executions, or a fraction of that as a majority. So that's, in this case, is not going to be the bottleneck. So if I maybe set the concurrency on that to 1, you might then start seeing the same thing if we're hitting that URL really quickly, that it's only going to start batching up those requests. So, anyone else? No? Cool. All right. Thanks very much. So that's it. Thanks, guys.